Shalom, this is Rabbi Izzy giving you the Devar Torah that I delivered last Shabbat on Parshat Vayigash. In this Parsha, we have this beautiful reconciliation of Joseph and his brothers. It's the culmination of this whole story of the brothers coming down to Egypt and then discovering that this Egyptian official is their brother Joseph, and then he very graciously forgives them for selling him into slavery in Egypt and really becomes the instrument of their salvation from this terrible famine that is coming. In the beginning of our Parsha this week, Judah is pleading for Benjamin. Joseph had put a test to his brothers. If you recall, Benjamin is the other son of Rachel, the more favored wife of Jacob. And he wanted to see how the brothers would treat his full brother, Benjamin. Would they treat him with disdain and neglect like they did him, or would they stand up for him? And Judah comes through with flying colors. He not only pleads for Benjamin to be released, but even offers himself in exchange for him. And this confirms to Joseph that his brothers have changed and are now willing to be people of honor and people of concern for others. And then he reveals himself to them to be their brother in this most powerful and incredible scene in the Torah. And it's very moving scene. Judah and Joseph are the two most prominent brothers out of the 12. And there's a number of reasons for this, a number of things that point to this. Number one is that their stories are the most expansive in the Torah. We have a lot of text about the life of Joseph. We have less, but still quite a bit on the life of Judah. The other brothers, not so much is said about them. Secondly, when Jacob is on his deathbed and he blesses the sons, the blessings for Judah and Joseph are the longest. The other brothers just get sort of a much shorter type of blessing. In the Torah, the 12 sons are only referred to as Judah and his brothers and Joseph and his brothers. There's nowhere that it says Issachar and his brothers. And so this is another indication that Judah and Joseph are the two most prominent of the 12. And both names contain the name of Hashem in them. Joseph's name in one of the Psalms has an extra hey, which makes Hashem's name present in his name, Joseph. And so again, the rabbis say this is another indication that these two are the prominent leaders of the 12. There's a midrash that says that as Judah and Joseph were discussing the release of Benjamin, that the other brothers said, kings are negotiating with each other. What concern of this is this to us? In other words, these two guys are the machers, they're the leaders, and we just need to be quiet and let them deal with their business. This indicates, again, in this midrash, that these two were the leaders. Moses in Deuteronomy 33 refers to Joseph as an ox. All the 12 tribes are given animals as their symbol, and Joseph is given the symbol of an ox by Moses. Like an ox, Joseph is the one who goes ahead of his brothers, and he plows the fields, preparing the way for them to be saved from the famine. Judah is called by Jacob on his deathbed blessing that we will have this coming week in the Parsha, is referred to as a lion. And the king of David is descended from him. He is the line of kings come from Judah, and he is the lion. And, quite often King David is referred to as the Lion of Judah, and so is the Messiah. In our tradition, there are two Messiahs, and this is an attempt to seemingly resolve seemingly conflicting text about the Messiah. We have texts that refer to the Messiah as being this teacher and suffering servant, and then we have other texts that see him as a warrior and a conquering king. And because of this, our tradition has developed the idea that there's actually going to be two Messiahs. The first one to come is the Messiah ben Yosef, the Messiah, the son of Joseph. He is the suffering servant, the teacher. He is like Joseph the ox, the one that comes and prepares the way. But then we have Messiah ben David, the Messiah, son of David, son of Judah, ultimately. And he is the warrior, the conquering king, the lion. What I think we need to do with this, or our understanding of this as Messianic Jews, can be that Yeshua is both the ox and the lion. He is both the one who came initially to prepare the way, and he will return as the conquering king and warrior. He was, in his first coming, our ox. He is the suffering servant who taught us the fullness of Torah. He saves the world as Joseph did, saved Israel from starvation. Yeshua, through his life, death, and resurrection, saves Israel and the nations of the world from sin and death. But he will come again as the returning king, the lion, the conquering warrior. He's actually referred to in the book of Revelation as the Lion of Judah. In Ezekiel 37, God commands Ezekiel to take two sticks, and on one stick write the name Joseph, and on the other one write the name Judah, and to place them together. And the reason given is that this is a prophetic act that God has Ezekiel do to say that the divided kingdoms, the northern kingdom of Israel and the southern kingdom of Judah, will ultimately be reunited. But I think we could see this as a reference to Yeshua being both of these messiahs, all wrapped up into one person. He is the son of Joseph, the ox, the suffering servant, and he is also the son of Judah, the one who will come as the lion, the conquering king and warrior. In the text of the story of Joseph and his brothers, when Joseph was approaching them in the field before they took him and sold him into slavery, it says that the brothers saw Joseph from afar. And the rabbis say that this is an indication that the brothers saw Joseph as an other, that he was distanced from them, did not really belong to them, was not really family or connected. In the same way, Yeshua today is viewed by the majority of our people as the other, somebody who is distant and far away. But when he comes as the conquering king and the Lion of Judah, he will be recognized and all will be drawn to him. We need to await the return of the Lion of Judah. But in the meantime, we can take up his task of being an ox. We can plow the fields. We can prepare the way for him by teaching others the principles of Torah, by teaching others so that they will be drawn to Hashem, by being examples of holiness and virtue that is taught in the Torah. In Pirkei Avot, it says, "You are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to desist from it." We need to see ourselves every day as going out into the world, going out into our daily lives and doing this ox-like work. And we need to pray for a better world, pray for the coming of the Messiah. But in the meantime, seek to do justice, to be kind to others. This is our mission as oxen, as followers of the one true ox. May we dedicate ourselves to this end as we wait the returning King, the Lion of Judah. Shabbat Shalom.